If you have ADHD like me, it's likely you won't even make it to the end of this video. But if you do stick around, well, I'm about to hand you the keys to the kingdom, my friend. With ADHD, we weren't born better or worse than anybody else. We were just born a bit different. And once you leverage that difference in your favor, then you are basically unstoppable. Let's get into that now. And between me and you, this isn't one of those videos that tries to convince you that ADHD is all sunshine and rainbows. Because God knows we face some fucking challenges. We get easily distracted, disorganized, restless. I was kicked out of school at 6 years old for being too boisterous. Then they had me on Ritalin pills, so I don't have any memories between the ages 7 and 12. Where most people remember birthdays and playing with their schoolmates, that era is just a blank space in my mind. So I came off the Ritalin and then came the overthinking. Overthinking in relationships, overthinking at work, even overthinking about overthinking. Trying to focus in a noisy office, mission impossible. ADHD gave me the determination and the drive to climb Mount Everest, but the impulse to keep changing mountains halfway up. Everything was started, nothing was accomplished. Sounds familiar? Yeah. Well, that's how things used to be. But how about now? What happened once I really learned to leverage ADHD like a cheat code? They say there are no rainbows without rain, so let's talk about the rainbows.
Raindrop, drip, drop top, smoking, no cooking, no hot pot. Cooking, fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. We came from nothing to something. Hey, I don't try nobody, grip the trigger, nobody. Call up the gang and they come and get jacked. Call me a river, give you a touch. Bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My just savage, ruthless. We got thudders and 100 rounds too. My bitch is bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My just savage, ruthless. We got thudders and 100 rounds too. Bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi.
Life lately. I'm outdoors all the time. Location, the south of Spain. My health, 100. Friends, quality over quantity. For work, I guide AI strategy at a €4 billion company, and doing it all from a penthouse apartment. ADHD is still here every moment of every day, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But I know that's not where you are right now. Maybe you're lying on your bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering why you can't just be normal for 5 bloody minutes. Or why you open your phone to do one thing and somehow end up 40 minutes deep, glued to some social media app designed to farm our attention for ad revenue. Why everyone else seems to move in a straight line while your brain is doing donuts in a car park. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a thought creeps in. I just wish I didn't have ADHD. I hear you, but let's kill that thought right now, permanently. Because look at the people living the so-called normal life. The ones without the chaos, without the restlessness. They reach the age of 50, look back, and realize they've been running the same routine for 30 years straight. That's not living, that's just existing. A monotonous life that only leads to regret and missed experiences. If you got rid of your ADHD, you wouldn't just get rid of a dodgy attention span, you'd lose your internal fire, your taste for variety, the stories you've made along the way. Think of all the hobbies, adventures you've been on, projects you've had fun with. Yeah, maybe you didn't complete some of them, but life isn't one big to-do list to be ticked off. Life's a giant ice cream menu, full of many flavors, and ADHD gives you the impulse to try every single one. There's a covert contract for us lot with ADHD, and in the contract it says, ADHD will make you more passionate, more intense, more alive, and all it asks from you is figure out a path that is meaningful enough to you and go after it 100%. And that means find out what is your element. Your primary objective before you do any life planning is to find your element. Your element is the place where work feels like play, where you don't have to be told to get up and lock in because you do it naturally. It's where all the magic happens. When you're operating in your element with ADHD, you're the absolute best because you're having more fun than everybody. Here's what I mean. Look at Michael Phelps, Olympic swimmer. He has ADHD. His element is competitive swimming. You couldn't drag him away from the swimming pool even if you tried. He loves that shit. He put in the hours at the swimming pool. He's in his element. And the result? He's earned more Olympic gold medals than any Olympian in history. That doesn't sound like someone who's distracted. That's what happens when your ADHD operates in its element. And it goes beyond sports. Like Richard Branson, billionaire serial entrepreneur, also has ADHD. He launches 5 new businesses each year. He's in his element, in flow state. But check this out. If you take Richard Branson to the swimming pool and tell him to be a competitive swimmer, he's not going to have a great time. And if you take Phelps to the boardroom and tell him to be a serial entrepreneur, it's not going to work either. No, Phelps is the champ in the pool and Branson is a champ in the boardroom. They both found their element. I could give you dozens more examples. And with ADHD, this alignment is key. Your element could be in sports, business, art, teaching, helping others, whatever it is. Spend an inordinate amount of time figuring out what your element is, because then you can align your life with it, and that's when the fun really begins. In a couple of minutes, I'll give you a no-nonsense way to go deep and get really clear on what your element is, so you can start incorporating it more into your life. And you hit your goals much faster than someone without ADHD. Because you're not relying on willpower, you're not relying on discipline, you're in flow state. I'm sure you're familiar with the term hyperfocus, where you lock in and all outside noise just disappears. You are fully focused on your task. Many of us with ADHD think that life is mostly an unstructured mess with only brief flashes of hyperfocus. But that's just what life looks like when you're operating outside of your element on tasks you have no passion for. And so when you truly start aligning your life with your true passions and your best work style, hyperfocus becomes your default, not the exception. You lock in with an intensity that neurotypical people physically cannot replicate, because the brain shows a spike in beta wave activity and elevated frontal gamma waves, which are signals of deep focus. So let's get clear on something between me and you. You don't want to resent or get rid of your ADHD. You just want it under control, where you point your hyperfocus at the things that matter to you. As promised, here's how to find your element, the environment where you are unstoppable. Down in the description, I've given you an AI prompt which you can copy into any AI tool, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever. It will take you through a series of questions and help you get really fucking clear on your element. So use that prompt, dedicate a good 20 to 30 minutes, give it your most deep, thorough answers to the questions so you get the best results. And if you want, combine it with a bit of written journaling to go even deeper into your psyche. Personally, I've done the deep work, and I now know that my element is a mixture of teaching others about interesting technical topics, doing creative work, and being active and outdoors. And I can tell you firsthand that a week living the life meant for you is worth more than a year in a life that's for somebody else. In my upcoming videos, I'll be sharing the systems that keep my life organized, how I leverage ADHD to achieve all my goals, and how you can model those systems to achieve everything you want. So crack on, use that prompt, and get started. You get to write your new life story, and right now, you're holding the pen.